All right. What's up? Welcome to Food and Founders Q&A. This is the 10th one. Thank you guys for being here. How was the week? It's Ali. Got it. Tell me about your wins. I'll tell you mine. I'm just going to start picking then. Aaron, you're going to go first. You're at the top. Thanks for sharing, Aaron. I just did a weekend in New Orleans for. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Aaron. I just did a weekend in New Orleans for the Attractive Man. It was masculinity and dating boot camp, and one of the things I talked about there is as how human beings don't celebrate successes. One of my mentors, Dr. Carl Buchheit from NLP Marin, go to check out their stuff. I love it. It's nlpmarin.com. I like basically every single thing that they do. Maybe one thing I don't, but out of like 100 things, it's great. Highly recommend. My highest of recommendations. But what he says is we need to wire. We gotta need to make our reptile brain feel safe. And the way to make our reptile brain feel safe is it only cares about if you're alive. It doesn't care about the quality of your life. It only cares about the quantity of your life. So if you're moving through life and you're like, oh well, not to play down or up what you said, but if like, oh, nothing happened. Well, luckily for me, I had a great example. Somebody was in the workshop and they want to go take a step down and they didn't see the step and they kind of like ate shit in the store or in the workshop. And then the next time they went up there and they came down, they didn't. And I said, see, you need to celebrate that you stepped down a step and you didn't get messed up. A success. We don't celebrate our little successes because to us it doesn't mean anything. Like once upon a time, you couldn't tie your shoe. And then you tied your shoe and you're like, look, mom, I tied my shoe. Or look, oh my God, you were so proud that you tied your shoe. And now you don't even care that you tied your shoe. In fact, sometimes you don't even untie your shoes. You just slip your feet in. I know I do that often with some of my shoes and things like that. But that used to be a great success. And we forgot about all our successes. So when it's like, hey, what wins do you have? Well, did you get beat up this week? No. Do you normally get beat up? Yes. Okay, then a success. Or do you like it's what is an actual success. And the more you celebrate successes, the more you train your reptile brain that it's okay to be successful, that it's easy to be successful, but then you also help your human brain because we need to see evidence sometimes before it's true, even though everybody knows you got to look at stuff and believe it's true before it's true, or you could just find things that are successful and have it be true now. So look through your life. You don't have to share again, but look through your week and how many times did you not fall? How many times did you tie your shoes? How many times did you not get stuck in the door? How many times did you not stutter in a conversation with somebody? A success, a success, a success. And so even now, today, this week, like everybody should just look at their successes this week. I ate so much food this week and I only gained 0.9 pounds. I'm counting that as a success. I ate a 6 pack of donuts and like when I'm trying to get 6 pack at like all these things. And I was like, this morning, weighed myself, I was like, a success, man. I went negative, but I thought it was going to be like 4 pounds or 3 pounds the way I've been eating. So a success. So celebrate your successes. Thanks for starting us off. Appreciate you. All right, Noah, what about you? Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing. A success. All righty, Alec. How about you? Yeah. No. Awesome. I'll be in Kona tomorrow. I know it's not Maui, but I'll be there. I'm doing bread taste testing Thursday and Friday in case you want to carb up. I don't want to carb up, but it's a it's a down. It's a burden I'll bear. Yeah, yeah. I gotta taste test the bread out there so we can see if we can do it without um, shipping bread in, which would save significant costs, like $2 a sandwich cost. Yeah, so I'm doing that starting tomorrow. I land at 1 and taste test at 3:30. So if you want to be there, be there. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Next time. Next time. Hey, what about you, Astrid? A success. A success. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, awesome. Good news. Good news. Good news. We'll be doing for good news. All right, Ali. Hey, Big win indeed. Thanks for sharing. I'll share mine. Let's see. So I'm right now in Vegas for I was shooting another episode with David Melzer out here. For those of you guys that know him, I know a couple of you guys in the group already do. And showing up to these things and feeding people. See, well, one, I got to be on the show, so that's great. But it's not the first time. It's probably like the seventh time. Not to downplay that, but what I see through doing this, because I do a lot of events, not just for David Melzer, doing one for the Phoenix Mercury tomorrow, and did one for just lots of big groups, whether it's for celebrities or for schools. And over the time, like this is where it's like slow and steady wins the race. Is now when I show up to these things, like specifically David Melzer's event yesterday and today, is like famous people, celebrities, billionaires are like, "Oh my god, you're the sandwich guy. I had your sandwiches in LA, or I had your sandwiches in Arizona, or I had your sandwiches." Literally every guest that I spoke to today had the sandwiches, even though we had just met. Like they've had the sandwiches before. Some of them didn't even live in a place where there's an Ike's. Like a bunch of people from Chicago, somebody from Montana, and they didn't just have them at David's events. They had them because they were traveling, and somebody said you need to eat there. And when it it shows, well, like the brain needs to see. Oh, here's the proof. Doing the little things does work, and it does compound over time. These folks wouldn't know what I was doing if I wasn't doing it and I wasn't doing it for a long time. We're always like, oh, we're 3 days away from being, everybody's like overnight success, even though I've been doing it for 18 years now. So that was a win for me. Not that the fact that those people said that, but that I was actually able to ground in that feeling, going, oh wow, super duper coach, blah blah blah. I'm not going to name drop right now. Is like, oh my gosh, I really wanted to say hi and thank you because I was in San Diego and I finally got to go to your restaurant in real life. And when you make an impact, when I make an impact, literally you never know who you're going to touch. And sometimes you might not ever meet the people that you touched if you make a huge enough impact. That's my win for the week. Plus, I only gained 0.9 pounds after eating all those donuts that you guys saw me eat on my live, if you were there. All right, who's got some questions? Go ahead and raise your hand in the hand raising thing before we get too deep into this. No questions, guys? Oh, there we go. Alrighty, Alec. Go for it. You love Joe, yeah. Yeah. I first learned about that from studying Michael Jordan. And he played there's this exercise I did called Traits of the Greats. And I learned it from Dr. John Demartini. I'll give you guys the quick rundown of this because it would be useful for anybody to do this. Is well, one, go to his website. It's drdemartini.com. He has a free determine your values um, uh, exercise. Should you take you no more than 30 minutes, like probably 20 minutes, depending. If you're truthful, 20 minutes. If you're like lying or whatever, you probably finish in 5. And if you're really lying, it'll take you like 30 minutes. So, in fact, I think everybody before the School of Wealth, I made them do that because I wanted to see where they were and where their values are, so I can help them find their school of wealth, like their way that they can become wealthy. So in doing that, I picked for social leadership and influence, the category, I picked Michael Jordan as my number one draft pick for that area. Not because he was great at basketball, although that helped. Well, because he created a logo that was himself. He became a billionaire based off his own logo, and he was like a really, really intense competitor, obviously. So in studying him, I first learned, well, one, a lot of people hate Michael Jordan. Like I'll just so we surprise, surprise, a lot of people hate him, and not just sports fans that like he beat their teams, but other competitors don't like him. And he mentioned in one of his biography, not his auto, so his biography, somebody wrote about him, and that he played every game twice. He played the game. Literally, he would do 48 minutes in his head of playing the game. And he would spend 48 minutes playing a game, like in his head, imagining what's going on, looking at the defense, seeing how they're going, and then he would go and play the game in real life. And when I heard first, I was like, man, that's like intense. 48 minutes of playing the game in your head, and imagine the concentration. Sounds like LeSean is doing something very, very, very similar. Oh, he would play, yeah. He played the game, every game twice, 48 minutes in his head, and then he would play it in real, like the actual game that he has to go play. And at first, I thought, man, that's a lot of work. Like 48 minutes sounds like maybe something similar to what LeSean was describing and what he does. Like imagine the detail you'd have to go to play 80 whatever games, 48 minutes in your head before every game, and then playoffs and then championships and all that, and then going and doing it. And I thought, because when I was like, man, that's a lot of work. And I started thinking, wait a second. If you're going to be like, I'm going to be a billionaire, win 6 rings, blah, blah, blah. All I have to do is imagine for 48 minutes what's going to happen first. You'd be like, that's the easiest hack that you've ever heard in your life. So I started going, well, why would I not do that? And then so I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to start doing it. How that looks like for me, Alec, well, I do it differently today than I did, but how I did it in the beginning when I was not, quote, successful, is I would be there, and I'd often link it to like a good feeling or a good time, and so I started going, well, when am I the most happy or inspired? When am I the most inspired when I'm at work? And this was like when I had one location. And for me, the immediate answer was like, oh, when the line is jamming, which it wasn't in the beginning, but like when we started getting, but we would get busy sometimes. When the line's jamming and we have orders, like so many orders, and then a song that I love is playing that I could really make sandwiches to. And I started calling it sandwich making music. And it wasn't about making the sandwiches. It was like, how can I jam out and really be inspired and move in a way like a freaking concert or like classical music, but to a song, and then making sandwiches and then passing them out. So I started doing that at one location when we weren't that busy, but we would get, whatever, we get like 10 people at a time. And then a really great song would come on and I'd do that. And then all of a sudden, slowly but surely, like the store would start becoming busy. And then it'd be busy for like 3 hours. And then it'd be busy. Then it turned into as busy from when we opened before people would get there before we opened. And often we would have to close the line because otherwise we'd be there all night. And that was my first playing with my first foray into doing it in my head and then doing it in real life. And so I linked because so right now, like say how I do it at New Orleans. And I don't know if you saw me. I for sure did it. Like I do it every single day now. So for sure I did it while you were there, but maybe you didn't notice. But I'm just like start conducting my hands like a whatever a conductor, like literally like a conductor, and I'm hearing music playing in my head, and I'm feeling the feeling of being busy, and then seeing like all these people and like kind of like skating through the store. And things like that. Like I'm literally like feeling those feelings, and then I'm doing the acts and I'm dancing around. And I even do that now. Like if I'm at New Orleans, there's only 2 people in the store. I'm like dancing and jamming like we have 700 people that we need to feed, like the old days. And so that's how it looks like, say, today. Now, linking it to like just my goals in general, every single morning when I do my exercises, and I'm doing specifically burpees or push-ups because those are something I could do mindlessly without paying attention, and then like be able to move my awareness to goals, and I'll do that at the same time. So I use the exercise as a way to move my the human brain out of the way, like because now I'm tired. Like I'm on burpee number 50. I do 69 in a row or 69 push-ups or in a row, specifically so I can take it out of my head. And then I think and I imagine my goals and I feel my goals. So I have a list on it's on my phone, so I'm not gonna pull it out, but I have my list of my goals. And before I'll start my workout, I'll read the list to myself while feeling each goal. Like one of them is I'm an A-list celebrity, so I'll feel myself like being mobbed, or I'll imagine 100 million followers on Instagram, feeling like, oh yeah, it's what it's, I have 9% body fat. I have 5,000, I have $20 billion valuation, and I'll feel those things. Like imagine myself, but now I've already for all the goals, I've already pre-made a picture or pre-made a feeling that already goes with them. It's not like I'm generating it on the spot. So I already have, okay, 20 billion valuation. This is what it feels like. Then when I'm working out, because I do it like I did it. In fact, that's the main reason why I work out now, is so I can do this meditation. Is so I'll start doing the push-ups or the burpees, and once I get tired, I'll just start feeling, oh, this is how it feels to have $20 billion. This is a valuation. This is how it feels to have 100 million followers on Instagram. Yes, and also because the reptile brain, catch you later, Aaron. The reptile brain needs to feel okay, safe with your goals. So for me, taking the human out, so now I don't have a human going, oh, you're not even close, or so and so, whatever, and like, and then the reptile brain goes, oh, well, now the reptile brain is literally just focusing on not dying because like I'm tired, right? It is. I don't really think that our brains think we're gonna die when we're doing exercises, but I feel like we kind of get close to triggering our reptile brain that we might die. Like if you're running and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm tired. It's definitely uncomfortable doing 69 burpees in a row or 69 push-ups in a row. And so I take both of my brains are offline, and now I just go by muscle memory of how it feels. Now for me it is difficult sometimes to imagine the feeling because I'm actually so tired, so exhausted from either strength tired or wind tired, that it's difficult. But because I already have the feelings preloaded, I get to feel those feelings, and I do that every day. And then I also do it at night too, minus the workout at night, unless I'm actually doing the workout at night. But I also do it before I go to bed, where I'll pick one feeling. Like I shared with the group this past weekend is before you go to bed, just think of like a success, right? Before you go to bed, ask yourself, what was my favorite part of today? And then find your favorite part of today. And by definition, your favorite part doesn't mean good. Like there has to be your favorite part. Like if your favorite part is nothing bad happened, then that's your favorite part. So I have my brain scanned for that, for whatever the best thing. Like today, today I had a conversation with Guy Fieri about potentially investing in Ikes. So, and then I was on, and then I had a bunch of, well, actually I put that. So now I'm going to be like, tonight, there's like 7 things that I'll probably think of what's the best part. Then from that space, I pick one of my goals on my list, and if I need to, like if I can't decide, I'll reread the list. But I read it all the time, so I kind of have it memorized. And then I'll pick one of those feeling or one of those things on the list, and then feel it, and like close my eyes and feel it, and I will say this is the best way to fall asleep, because if you're in so much resistance to your goals, you'll actually just fall asleep. Like your brain will just put you to sleep because you're in resistance to the goal. So either way, you're either going to fall asleep real fast, or you're going to be thinking about your goal for a good amount of time before you fall asleep. So that's how I use it now. Every single day, multiple times. I use it. Not only do I use it every single day, and every single day I start searching for evidence that what I thought about that day, whether it was during the workout or the night before, is coming true. Like today, last night before I went to bed, I was really focusing on the $20 billion valuation. And then today on my way to David Melzer's thing, Guy Fieri goes, "Hey, you want to have a conversation today? Let's link up." And I haven't heard from him in like a month. We were supposed to chat like a month ago, but he's been busy. So for me, I go, "Oh, look, this is evidence of the $20 billion valuation coming true. So then I double link it. I link it to the human brain going, "Look, here's proof. Oh, there was a billionaire today that came into Dave's show. That's proof that I'm on the way to $20 billion valuation." And I keep finding every day, I look for proof that what I want to be coming true. Look for evidence, because when you look for evidence, like the particle in the wave, when you go to observe it, it pauses. That's probably why it becomes a particle from a wave. That's probably why Michael Jordan did it. It's probably why it's successful for LaShawn, and it's for sure successful for me. You're welcome. It's my number one. Like when I do my class, the alchemy of magic. That's like literally the tenet of the whole class. Is this? I have more exercises that people can do specifically to get themselves into the habit of doing it. Like I have a whole protocol on that, and that's the whole premise of the whole class is working your magic wand so that you can alchemize like literally the ether into your goals. Mhm. And then feel it. Like a quick start, like if you're like, I want to start doing it now, is just imagine a slightly future version of yourself. So you look up into your right, to where we access our pictures that we make, and then imagine a version of you. You can either be in your body or you can be watching yourself, where you have what you want, whatever that is that you would like, anything. If some people, they have a trouble doing that, so if that's you, which I don't want to put it out there, oh, well, I can't do it, but I'm saying it just in case you can't. Fine, imagine somebody else that has what you would like. Michael Jordan, Elon Musk, whoever it is, slightly future, like there you are. And what is it that they're doing, feeling, being, what's going on around them? And then just like observe their emotion, like step into their body. Like, what are they believing about the world? What are they thinking? So you're going to have this picture with these feelings of yourself in all of your goals. Like pick all your goals, do one for each. And anytime that you're want to like, oh, I want to work on this goal, just go in there, be in there, close your eyes if you have to, and be in that. And then feel how you feel when you have this goal. Like I said, I like to do it when I'm working out because then the brain part of me goes, oh, but that's going to be too hard, or but it's too, whatever it is, whatever the self-talk that's negative is there. So it takes that offline. That's why I like to do it during push-ups. But you can even just do it simply on a walk. I was reading this book, a Carlos Castaneda book, and he said all the sorcerers would walk everywhere, even if it was going to be 5-day trip to walk, because the walk and the thinking part and the movement of their bodies while they were thinking about the magic that they wanted to create, which for them meant their goals or whatever it is that they wanted, was part of the magic spell. They didn't use the word magic spell; they used a different word. But it's like when we do rituals, that's where rituals are about. And so they would walk, even this like, oh, it's a 3-day walk. They would walk. They wouldn't take a horse. They wouldn't do anything because they wanted to walk. They wanted to zone out, and then they wanted to focus on what it is that they wanted to create. So even if you just go for like I do walks every single day and do my meditation. If I walk anywhere, like the win is a 49-minute walk from here. I walked to WrestleMania and it was an hour walk because I wanted to walk and think about my goals. Yes. I do the workout because it takes out my human brain, but also I find when I walk after a while, I like kind of forget. Now these days you have your phone going, oh, make a right here or whatever, right? So what I like to do is I use those distractions, like having to wait at a red light or looking both ways so you don't get run over, or the phone going ding ding, make a right here or whatever. I like to use those times of distraction to be like, oh, look, I actually wasn't paying attention to my goals. Thank you for reminding me and going back to my goals. So you can use this on a small level to a huge level, and you can do this any time that you want with any goal that you want. And then don't be like, oh well, I this is like go and do it, and then look at for your own self. Like the only way to see if it works or not is go and do it, and then search for evidence that the things that you were thinking about are coming true, even if it's small, because you're never 0% towards your goal. But we always think we don't have it, so we don't have it. It's not either you have it or you don't have it. It's your 0.3%. Like if your goal is $1 billion, look at your bank account. Nobody here is 0% on the way to $1 billion. None of us. We're infinitely away from zero. We're closer to a billion than we are to zero, mathematically. But people don't put their mind in that frame. And doing that and searching for evidence, then you'll just end up finding more and more and more evidence. Like when you see the car, or you just bought a car, or you probably know that example. You see it everywhere. When you start seeing evidence, you're like, oh look, here's another $1 billion. Here's another billionaire. Oh, here's another billionaire. Here's another billionaire. Here's another, and whatever the goal is. Like, here's another WNBA player. We just launched a sandwich with a WNBA player today. There's another one that's like our freaking 5th WNBA player. Like if you like tall, beautiful, athletic women, then there you go. I got the market on that. What are the questions? What do you mean? Be more specific. Answer the questions. What am I doing? Oh well. So what we teach the team is we're just going to keep on. We're going to like what are our strengths? Our strengths are our sandwiches and our sauces and our service, and nobody can compete at that. In fact, anytime we have a revenue issue, if there is one, we just go, oh, that must mean we're not loving enough, we're not sandwiching enough, or we're not servicing enough. Now, yeah, I've started selling donuts and apothecary beverages and things like that. But for me, unless it's in alignment, like people are like, oh, hey, why don't you bring this product in? Is because we don't like, I'm not Ike's loving sandwiches and coffee beverages or whatever in a can kind of thing. And so for us, it's always that. Like if there was a way I could add a product and people would automatically buy it, like you still need to get people to come in and like you still got to get them to choose your restaurant first. So I think that adding of products is a that's I don't know, like unless it literal gold, like it's not gonna move the needle that much if I brought in a new product. Like if I did a collab with whoever, that's why I do collabs. So we just did a collab with Kelsey Plum, just launched today, and she'll post about it. We post about it, and hopefully it gets somebody that's like, oh, well, I haven't had Ike's in a while to eat Ike's. And so basically that's what we do, and that's kind of part of the culture, right? For me, where the sandwich to the stars, A-list sandwiches, love and sandwiches, international sex symbol, all that. So yeah. And it'd be the same thing if I was coaching a business that felt like, oh, our revenue's down. I'd be like, well, what are you guys? What metrics? What your personal like values are you not emphasizing enough? Bill Belichick, he would, well, he's a coach for North Carolina now, but he was for the Patriots with Tom Brady. If you don't know who he is, and he would go like whenever they would lose a game, he's like, oh, we just need to block better. We're missing the fundamentals, and it's always down to those things. It's like, what do you start at? And that's where likely the disconnect is. Our sales aren't going down because the market is down. How do I know? Because in 2008 and 2009, when the market was nuclear, in 2010 when it was nuclear, I had the best sales that we've ever had. In fact, we had higher sales back then than we do today. So obviously, it's not the market. And higher sales per store, not obviously not more than 100 restaurants now. What other questions you guys got? Yeah, go for it. Well, there's no such thing as one move. It's a combination of everything. There's not a, oh, here's the secret. Like literally, the book was hanging out with John Asseroff last night, and it's not about that because it's about your wholeness. So if you're going out there and you're imagining these goals that you have and you're feeling them and you're doing it, and then all of a sudden your mind is like, oh no, I'm not like Ike, or I'm not like whoever you put on a pedestal, or I'm not like even this other person who might not even be that great, but you think that they're better than you, then that mind shift isn't going to help. So I guess if there was quote one thing, it would be, what is it that inspires you, and only live in that. And if you live in that, then and only live there, then there's nothing but magic that can be created by you, because you're not going to do something that you don't want. Somebody asked me to do something yesterday, and I was the one middlemaning it because like whatever, they're a quote VIP client or something. I mean, not that they're not or something, like they're VIP client, and I was like, but I don't even want to do this. I don't care how VIP they are, and I just immediately put them in a group chat with someone else, and they probably got better service, and it did end up happening, and I all of a sudden realized that I didn't have something over my head like, oh, did I forget to do something? Do I need to do this? Because I just moved it to somebody else because I didn't want to do it. even though this person's super VIP and a celebrity and all that stuff. And I don't think that they felt disrespected that I connected them with someone else. So, what inspires you, and only move in that direction for as long as you possibly can. And everything else that you have to do, that you think you have to do, that's not on that inspiring list, get somebody else to do it, even if it costs you money, and even if it costs you money that comes from you, like, it's worth the payment of it. And then I guess one last thing, I stopped doing my podcast a few months ago because I didn't like the service I was getting from somebody, and I was trying to get, and then they raised the price too. So I was trying to get, well, I didn't really care about the price. I cared that the service wasn't what I wanted, and it wasn't putting out the product that I wanted. They could have charged, if they were doing what they wanted, they could have charged the price that they wanted. But I used their price increase as a way to like really just be like, hey, I can't have this happen. And they said no deal. And so we stopped working together. So now instead of having a product, or podcast and product and all that stuff that's less than what I wanted it to be, I don't even have one anymore at all. So now I have to go do it. And then ever since I started doing it, I've only probably done 3 episodes when I would have normally have had like 21 episodes in the same amount of time. So now I'm like, oh shit, I should just go back and use a less than, or find somebody better, right? But I decided that they weren't doing a good enough job, so I'm going to do it, but it's not what I want to do. I just want to show up and speak and have somebody else do the logistics of the podcast and put it on Apple and Spotify, wherever the hell I don't even know where they were putting it, and on YouTube and creating the shorts and all that. So that's also something that I learned. It's like, oh, well, now I don't even have a podcast anymore, rather than some amazing reels and some mediocre reels and TikToks and shorts on YouTube. Now I have none. I could go like once a month and do that. Connect me. We'll see if it works out, schedule wise, price wise, product wise. Cool. Thanks. So this week, everybody, just celebrate your successes. Like literally anything. You go out the door and you didn't forget something. I forget something almost every time I leave, especially a hotel. Like I've locked myself out of the hotels many times where I have to get keys. It's like a joke, running joke. That should just get 7 keys and just keep one in every single pair of pants that I have on the trip. And but today I didn't, and I was like, oh dude, I have the key. A success. Yesterday I didn't have the key. So not, it's like, yes, a success. I don't have to walk to the damn thing. Now, luckily for me, my companion over there, I think she's taking a nap. She had the key, but like I didn't have a key. So if she didn't have the key, I'd be like, damn, I gotta walk back to the front desk and be like, oh, I forgot my key for like the 5th time I've ever been here. Yeah. So a success. Like even little things like that, a success. You text somebody, you text everybody back or one person back when it normally takes you 5 days later to text back. A success. So celebrate your successes, even though, especially the little ones, and you'll start observing them more. All right. I'll catch you guys next. I'm probably gonna have to change the time because I have a thing from I have a class from 12 to 6 on Wednesday, California time. So I don't know. I'll have to do it like 7 California time. What's it? It's 4 in California, right? Yeah, Thursday. Cool. Cool. I'll let you know. Yeah. Awesome. But next week I'll be in Hawaii, so I'll be doing it. It'll be early for me, and I'll be sitting on. I'll show you guys the view for the Ikes. Yeah. All right. We'll love you guys. Catch you next week. All right. Best viewers on streambo.com. End stream. Love you. Oh, if you guys have any questions, you got like a minute to type it out. You two guys over here. I don't think anybody's on over here. Hey, what's up, Azul? What's up? Yeah, I'm retail leasing broker specializing in tenant representation. Would love to explore where I can add value and help find sites for new locations. Hey. Go ahead and Aiden, go ahead and reach out to Adam Ranella on LinkedIn, Adam Ranella, Ranella, and he'll hook you up with whatever. Uh, he'll hook you up. He's the real estate guy for X. All right, anyone else? Who we got? We got Twitch and YouTube. Alrighty, guys. Love you.